Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scott's, and Rogers special video edition, the Wakefield Doctrine After Hours. It's actually Saturday. I'm on my way towards the staging area for the Wakefield Doctrine Saturday Night Drive. And I'll try to keep track of the time because we don't like these to go very long, 5 minutes or so. But I thought I'd do a quick video blog just in case I don't have anything to write tomorrow morning. So I'll be going over there at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Everybody knows that. So, the Wakefield Doctrine. The Wakefield Doctrine, the theory of Clark, Scott's, and Rogers, is a personality theory that's built based on the idea that how we relate to ourselves to the world is the key to understanding behavior. We talk about three worldviews corresponding to our three personality types in the Wakefield Doctrine, the aforementioned Clark, Scott's, and Rogers. We've got a long description on each, how to recognize a Clark, a Scott, or a Roger, just like a lot of other personality theories do. The big difference for us is that we're not concerned with the individual's idea of what they're like. We're not concerned with filling in a questionnaire. We're just looking at people and ourselves and trying to infer which of the three worldviews, which of the three characteristic ways of relating to the world am I exhibiting? Am I exhibiting the worldview of an outsider? That would make me a Clark. If I looked at somebody else and saw a certain gaze, a certain approach, a certain aggressiveness, I might infer that they're existing in the world, relating to the world as would a predator. That would make me realize that there is a person with what we call a Scotian personality. And I might even see somebody who just has all of the earmarks of a person who believes that the world is a quantifiable place, that there are rules to behavior, and that everything makes sense as long as you follow the rules. That would lead me to infer that I have a person there, male or female, doesn't matter, who is a Rogerian personality type. The three personality types are simply labels for the characteristic way a person relates themselves to the world. We mean that relating in the fullest possible sense. It's not just what you decide you want to do with the world. It isn't just that you go out there today and say, okay, well, I'll be more aggressive. It has as much to do with what you are, what you believe you are, as it does with what you believe the world is. Getting a little metaphysical, but hey, what are you going to do? The idea that we have a saying here at the Wakefield Doctrine. Here's a little fun tidbit. Everyone lives in their own perfect world. You, listeners, are living in the best, most perfect world that you as an individual can create. We do this kind of thing. We don't do as much as we used to. We used to do these provocative statements. Scots are the predators. Rogers are the mooing herd beasts. And we did that for fun. We should do more of that. We're getting more serious, it seems, and we seem to be, one of the casualties seems to be the fun part. But we still will make a statement like, you do live in your own perfect world, because that's a good way of implying all of what comes into play when you're using something like the Wakefield Doctrine theory of personality. When you break it down, that statement, most reasonable people, anybody still listening in other words, would not find the statement overly outrageous that you live in a perfect world. You won't find outrageous that you have expectations about the world that you are aware of consciously and that you aren't aware of directly consciously. We all know that. We have biases, prejudices, attitudes, all of the things that from the day we were born we've been taught and reinforced to believe about the world. The world is a friendly place, the world is a helpful place, the world is a hostile place, all of those things. They come to us from our family first, our friends second, society third. That's what goes into what it is when we see the world that we're talking about relating to. The other half of that, the part where the perfectness comes from, is that we're also taught about ourselves in the same manner. From the day we were born, we're told that you are a good person, you're a bad person, you're a regular person, you're exceptional. We're taught that first by the family, second by our friends, and third by society. It reinforces what we are. We are those things, and whether we're aware of them or not, as much as we are the things that we're conscious of. The idea is that it all goes into the thing that we refer to as the self, the personality. So when we talk about the Wakefield Doctrine, the thing that we've gotten away from is the simple fact that these worldviews imply a personal reality. That's a critical concept. It's critical in the idea of a personal reality is what makes all of this useful. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to necessarily be willing to believe it, accept it, or whatever, but it's a component in the use of the Wakefield Doctrine that's essential. Simply put, a clerk will look for a job. A clerk will try their best to get a job, and a clerk will fail at it. The reasons to somebody else will be a list. And the list will end up being a list of characteristics of a clerk-like personality. You got too much jewelry stuck to your face, you got purple hair, you mumble, you run yourself down, you make fun of yourself too much, all of the things. This applies to the Scotts and Rogers. You guys all get that, I'm sure. Anyway, back to the business of personal reality. What's critical here is that within personality, there's a concept called denial, which is a negative form of the fact that when a clerk looks around at the world, they make their best judgment, they try their best to account for everything. When they don't get it, they don't get what you or Roger or you or Scott get about why they didn't get the job, they're not just ignoring it. They're not just saying, "Oh, no, I don't want to hear that part." There are parts to all of our realities, all three, that are simply a part of our reality and not a part of another person's reality. That's sort of a hurdle. Let's make that a new hurdle. We'll start to repeat this as we do these things more often. Is that the fact is, it's a personal reality. You need to be able to understand people using the Wakefield Doctrine. You've got to be able to accept the fact that within one reality, it's possible for something to not exist that exists in yours. You're both standing in the same damn room. There's an elephant in the corner. The other person, their reality does not allow an elephant in the corner. What you need to do to get the most out of the Wakefield Doctrine, I guarantee this and make this a sort of a requirement, is that you've got to be able to accept the fact that, okay, the elephant isn't there for the other person. You cannot take the lazy person's way of saying, well, they're just refusing to accept the elephant. I mean, it's right there. Don't you understand that? No, you can't do that in the Wakefield Doctrine. The Wakefield Doctrine says that you have to have the discipline and not be lazy and insist that everybody else sees the world as you do. That's a lazy person's way. The Wakefield Doctrine is not for the lazy person. Therefore, the Wakefield Doctrine is for the curious person, the person willing to try the thing that can't work. They, you, them. You guys all get the stuff from the Wakefield Doctrine by doing that. So that's a little bit of a preachy video. So I'm going to sign off, and I'll talk to you guys a little later if you call in. Bye.